In this video, we're going to look at frequency tables. So what is a frequency table? A frequency table is simply a T-chart or two-column table which outlines the various possible outcomes and the associated frequencies observed in a sample. Let's go through some questions. Question 1. The price of 1 pound of milk is recorded from 40 different shops. Here are the results in a frequency table. Before we can use this frequency table, we need to make sure we know exactly what it means. In the first column, we've got the price of the milk recorded in pence, and that goes from 48 to 49 to 50, 51, 52 to 53. Then we have the frequencies 8, 13, 14, 2, 2 and 1. So this frequency table means the price of milk was 48 pence on 8 occasions. It was 49 pence on 13 occasions, 50 pence on 14 occasions, 51 pence on 2 occasions, 52 pence on 2 occasions, and 53 on 1 occasion. If we add the frequencies up, they come to the 40 different shops. So to find the mean, we need to multiply the pence by the frequency in each of our rows. So we need to work out 48 times 8 plus 49 times 13 plus 50 times 14 plus 51 times 2 plus 52 times 2 plus 53 times 1, all divided by 40, which equals 384 plus 637 plus 700 plus 102 plus 104 plus 53, all divided by 40, which equals 1980 divided by 40, which equals 29.5. B, to find the median, I need to find the middle value, so that's 40 plus 1 divided by 2, which is 20.5. So I want the 20th and the 21st piece of data. Well, I've got 8 plus 13 takes me to 21. So they are both 49. So my median is 49. The mode is which value occurs most often. Well, 50 occurs most often, so the mode is equal to 50. D, the range. Well, the range is the maximum value minus the minimum value, which is 53 minus 48, which is equal to 5. The lower quartile, well, that's the median of the bottom half of the data. Well, there is 20 in the bottom half, so to find the median, I add 1, divide by 2, which is equal to 10.5. So I want the 10th and the 11th piece of data. Well, both the 10th and the 11th are 49. So the Q1 is equal to 49. F, the upper quartile, well, that's the median of the top half of the data set. So that can be found by adding 20 to 20 plus 1 divided by 2, which comes to 30.5. So I want the 30th and the 31st piece of data. So if I keep adding up, they are both 50. So therefore, Q3 is equal to 50. G, the interquartile range, well, that is equal to Q3 minus Q1, which is equal to 50 minus 49, which is equal to 1. H and I, the standard deviation and the variance, I'm going to do on a TI Nspire. I've opened my TI Nspire to a lists and spreadsheets page. I've already input my data into two columns. The first column for price, the second column for frequencies. I've highlighted a spare cell, C1. So now I go to menu, 4 statistics, 1 stat calculations, 1 variable statistics. I have one list. I called my list price. My frequency column was FREQ. Press OK. And here is my data. My mean has been calculated at 49.5. If I go down, my standard deviation is 1.1619, which is 1.16 to 3 significant figures. I have 40 pieces of data. Here is my 5 number summary. My minimum value was 48, Q1 was 49, my median value was 49, my Q3 value was 50, and my maximum value was 53. So H, my standard deviation, is equal to 1.16. My variance is equal to 1.1619 squared, which is equal to 1.35. Now we'll go through a grouped data question. Question 2. The table below shows the heights in centimetres of a group of 25 students. The height h and the frequency is shown in the table. So the first group is from 150 to 155, and there are 3. The next group is from 155 to 160, and there are 5. The next group is from 160 to 165, and there are 9. The fourth group is from 165 to 170, 7. And the final group is from 170 to 175, and there's 1 of them. Write down the modal class. Well, the modal class is from 160 less than or equal to h less than or equal to 165. Write down the mid value of the modal class. Well, halfway between 160 and 165 is 162.5. You add the two ends of the group together and divide by 2. All the other parts of the question will be done on a TI Nspire. But in order to do that, because it is grouped data, we need to find the midpoint value, so the mid value of each of our groups. So the midpoint of 150 and 155 is 152.5. The midpoint of 155 and 160 is 157.5. Then 162.5, 167.5, and finally 172.5. These values will be used when we set up our spreadsheet in order to calculate an estimate for the mean, the interquartile range, and the median value. So I've opened my TI Nspire to a lists and spreadsheets page. I've already input my data into 2 columns. The first column for height, which I've used the midpoint for each group. And in the second column, I've used frequency. I've highlighted a spare cell, C1. So now I go to menu, 4, 1, 1. I have one list, so OK. My list was named height. My frequency was called FREQ. I can now press OK, and there are all my calculations done for me. An estimate of the mean, X bar, is 162.1. If I scroll down, my standard deviation is 5.27636, which is 5.28 to 3 significant figures. I input 25 pieces of data. My minimum value is 152.5. Q1 was 157.5. My median was 162.5. Q3 was 167.5, and the maximum value was 172.5. So C, the median, is equal to 162.5. D, the mean, X bar, is equal to 162.1. E, explain why you can only calculate an estimate for the mean, because it is grouped data. So you don't really know what every single value is. You only know, and that's why you use the mid value. So F, the interquartile range, is equal to Q3 minus Q1, which is 167.5 minus 157.5, which is equal to 10. And the standard deviation, G, is equal to 5.27636, which is equal to 5.28 to 3 significant figures.